back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mobafire Challenger Series. My name is Rapid. With me is EGAD or Feed. We'll be taking you into Game 2 of the night here in MCS. I was about to call it EPS. Yeah, that's the other one. Here tonight in MCS, we're going to see Cognitive Esports, the Exquazabi Gaming roster, taking on Curse Academy. And if you're a little bit new to Cognitive Gaming, then, well, I guess you're kind of where most people were at the beginning of the season. But after the first few games have been played, Cognitive Gaming sitting tied in there almost at that third place, but sitting in fifth currently at 4-2. Curse Academy, they're 4-2 as well, so looking to break the tie tonight.
Yeah, and we are underway with all three bands, coming out from the side of Cognitive Esports. We do see Evelyn, Vayne, and Twitch. That Vayne and Twitch targeted at Fabi, as those are his comfort champions in that AD carry role, so we're going to have to see him pick up something different from there. While the side of Curse Academy, going to be banning out Lulu, targeted at Zamfire, Elise for Ziploc and iDream. Both of them play that very proficiently. And then Nunu going to get banned out, as no one likes the counter jungling prowess that Nunu brings into the game. And we're going to wait for the first pick to come out from the side of Cognitive.
Yep, no Metal Gear Solid new news in the game tonight, and Lulu ban you won't see against any other team other than Cognitive Esports. That is because Zamfira is a monster AP mid Lulu, and you're like, wait a second, that is obviously a troll pick. And then you go back and watch some of these Wasabi/Cognitive VODs, and you're just like, I don't even know what I'm watching. It's just way too broken to be a champion. And, well, we're going to see some interesting bans as well. Vayne and Twitch banned out against Fabi, so forcing him onto a little bit of an uncomfortable pick. Probably won't be seeing Draven here either. And then that Evelyn ban is going to be against One Bad Brad, one of his strongest junglers. It's going to be the lock-in on the Ezreal, really trying to deny Curse Academy that's double AD composition that they're so known for running.
Yeah, and from the side of Cognitive, we're going to see them pick up Ezreal now. That could be indicative of a double AD comp. That could be indicative of a just regular standard comp with Ezreal being the AD carry. We'll see where that one goes, as we've seen a lot of that shifting between both teams. All the teams, actually, they end up picking Ezreal. Take it mid, just shut down any AP carry that they put it against. But on the side of Curse Academy, they're going with Jarvan and Thresh. Thresh managed to slip through the bans, as a lot of the bans were targeted. So we're going to see, most likely, take that Thresh and take it to support, and possibly a jungle Jarvan, unless Rux or Jack Smith want to take it to that mid lane.
Yeah, we probably would see that in the top lane. Rux does actually play a lot of top lane Jarvan, so could be a little bit of a bait and switch out there for Curse Academy. But interesting to see Zamfira going for the Zyra. We haven't actually seen too much Nami play today, and I've been kind of impressed. We saw it in the very first game of the day, but that was actually a remake, so we didn't wind up seeing Nami at all. Going for that Zyra pick a little bit more often, and it's looking like we could have a Varus here. Now, Varus going to be played by nothing here. It's kind of interesting to see, because we actually saw Fabi play Varus when his Vayne and Twitch were banned in the last time that Curse Academy played. So going for that Varus ban, taking yet another champion choice away from Fabi. But to be honest, I don't really think that the Varus was necessarily, I don't know, his Varus didn't strike me as something that you need to take away from him. So it might just be a comfort pick there for nothing here.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Zac and Varus, as you were hovering over before. A lot of good damage coming out from him in lane. He has one of the highest 80 damage to start off in the laning phase. It's pretty hard to deal with, as the Hail of Arrows and the Piercing Arrow are pretty annoying to deal with. And then we saw Zac get picked up, most likely going to go into the jungle, unless we want to see iDream take that one in the top lane. We've seen Zac in the jungle and top before, both working out fairly well. We'll see where that goes, as we do see Jaximus locking in Gragas now, as we see, hovering over Kaylin. That's going to get locked in, and we're going to see Fabi playing that Kaylin in the bot lane. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I mean, yeah, Fabi definitely more well known for his Vayne and Twitch stats, but he's no stranger to that Caitlyn either. So definitely going to be a very strong pick, not only just for Fabi, but over the course of the entire tournament. Your top tier AD carries, your Vayne, Twitch, Tristana, all very strong, but Caitlyn is a monster at pushing turrets. That's exactly what you saw from To Be Determined in our previous game of the day. So could still see that turret pushing strategy. We have some good wave clear and some nice sort of push the enemy team off the turret kind of stats there from that Gragas barrel. So that does leave open the last pick. There will be a top lane. It's going to be Renekton locked in there for Cognitive Esports.
Every time we see the Renekton in the top lane, be it Mega Zero or iDream, iDream does a really good job playing that Renekton up top. And also, it's going to be a double AD carry composition coming out from the side of Cognitive. So we're going to see that mid Ezreal, and going to go for that blue route, build a tier, go very passive, just farm up as much as possible and try to dish out as much damage as possible to his laning opponent, and then have that Zyra and Varus combination going in the bot lane, most likely, unless there's lane swaps. We haven't talked about that just yet. That grasping root with the hail of arrows, as well as the passive coming out from Varus, is always a huge factor, as it will dish out a ton of damage when it is stacked up 3 times. So, going to be interesting to see that one. While they're hovering over Shyvana for the side of Curse Academy, as they do seem to be missing a jungler, unless Rux wants to take Shyvana up top. They might switch that one out, as 5 seconds are going to tick down. We will see if they do lock this one in. 1-0, and Shyvana is going to get played.
Man, Curse Academy, I hope their Lord and Savior Saint Vicious is watching on from on high.
Oh, maybe it was
we do have a little bit of a remake here, so maybe a small shout out there. It's going to be a Diana actually picked up instead of that's Shyvana. So
they juked us all.
That there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was getting my hopes up. I was about to go ahead and tweet out Saint Vicious, let him know what his academy was up to, but we do have Shyvana not actually in the game. It will be a Diana that will probably put that Jarvan the Fourth in the jungle.
Damn, I was actually gonna be pretty hyped to see a Shyvana, but I guess not, as the changes to her were pretty cool. The Flame Breath, I don't know what it's called. The Dragon's Breath maybe does go through targets. She's pretty good at clearing the jungle. She has that dragon form that makes her pretty strong, but yeah, not gonna see that one. It's gonna be a Diana. So top lane Diana, mid lane Gragas for Jaximus?
That would probably be what we're looking at. Top lane Diana, we haven't actually seen it all that much. Dyrus actually used to play it in LCS a couple times, but wasn't really met with a whole lot of success. About the only other top laner in LCS that's ever played Diana has been Voyboy, but haven't really seen that one around for a while. But Rux, he loves to run teleport, at least on his Rise, which I'm kind of surprised that they didn't actually wind up banning out. So going for that's the Diana this time around. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out, especially against one of the monsters of top lane in iDreams, Renekton.
Yeah, and I suspect some lane swaps come out from Curse Academy, I think. I don't think they want to deal with that mid lane Ezreal. It'd be pretty much a bully to Jaximus, as Gragas is that melee champion, so it'd be pretty annoying for him to eat those mystic shots and take the auto attack harass. But Gragas has some sustain in his kit in that passive 2% health for, I think it's 3 seconds after he uses an ability. And yeah, solid lineups coming out from both of these sides, from Cognitive and Curse Academy. I'm interested to see how well No Exhaust Thresh is going to play.
I mean, we've seen a lot of heals coming out from supports, at least so far. We saw one in the last game, but going into this game, definitely a very aggressive bottom lane. I mean, it doesn't get much more aggressive than Fabi anyway, and running that Ignite really just going to help him out along in that regard. But we have everything locked down, champions chosen and in place. We're into the spectator delay, so we have a little bit of time to focus on where all these champions went. Pretty standard lineups across the board, but like you mentioned, we are going to have that double AD composition coming out from Cognitive Esports, actually not seeing it from Curse Academy, the team that's actually run that, I think, second most in MCS, only a second to Complexity Gaming.
Interesting. And both these junglers that are picked up, Jarvan and Zac, are fairly early game reliant. They can have a huge presence in any lane that they go into. That EQ combination coming in from Jarvan, knocking up people, are going to get in there and attack and apply the red buff slow if he does have it at the time, while Slingshot coming in for Zac can cover a huge distance and could try to surprise anybody, catch them off guard, and possibly look to get a kill. He's got Let's Bounce in his kit as well in the ultimate to knock anybody out and just try to make his way through to the AD carry or anybody that he's on. And then the Cataclysm to synergize for the team on the side of Curse Academy is pretty good, as the Explosive Cast and Cataclysm coming in, allowing Diana to close the gap, and even the box to synergize from Thresh being
All right, so we are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be into the second game of the night here in the Mobafire Challenger Series. It's going to be Curse Academy taking on Cognitive Esports. And I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors before we head into a commercial break. It's iBuyPower for giving us the $10,000 here in this the league Also, do want to give a shout out to Razor Academy and Fatality Gaming Gear for hooking us up with some sick gaming peripherals. But without further ado, gonna head into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back, everybody, to the second game for tonight. I am EGR to your feed, and joining me is Rapid Casting for this lovely night. And also, guys, we forgot to mention that there is a tip jar in effect for if you guys want to support the casters, you want to support the prize pool as well. You can add into that one. It is mcsesports.com/tips. And we are getting underway with this game as we see Curse Academy moving over to their blue towards the red of Cognitive Esports, while Cognitive Esports does fairly the same thing.
Yeah, they are going to meet up here over ward over the wall there by Rux, placing that down. See an interesting build out of that Diana going Flask and a... So, going to get a sustain on up there. Double Doran's Blades for the 280 carries on Cognitive Esports. They're going to look for this red invade, but standing on that ward, their position has been revealed. So actually not probably going to stick around for this invade, because we are seeing kind of a mirrored invade. The standard double wards drop down there, red buff, and then that Wraith Rush for Curse Academy. Getting back out of there, looking to defend their own red buff, but just in the nick of time, Cognitive disengage.
Yep, and now we see all Curse Academy running towards that red buff of their own, and there is a ward over there as well as a ward in the entrance to the river. Gonna throw out that Demosthenes standard, doesn't spot anybody out of there, and now they're all just staying as 5, and I think they're really gonna try to pressure this red buff, as Rux is still staying with them, maybe looking to back off. There are pings going down over to that Banana Brush as they are entering towards their own blue. Ping is going down all over the place while iDream and Captain Ziploc are creeped up top. And I think we're going to have standard lanes this game. No lane swaps coming through.
Yeah, but this is going to be a big start for Curse Academy, or for Cognitive Esports. They have the ward coverage. They're the ones going for this red buff steal, and really nobody coming to stop them. I mean, Rux can actually walk by there if he wants to, but I'm not actually sure he's going to go check that. And it looks like a pretty nice steal attempt, but the disruption coming in from Cognitive.
Yeah, the piercing arrow going to go through. Mystic Shot going to apply a little bit of harass. They're going to force the smite out of him. There it goes. One Brad takes that one, and he may look to turn on this one. Nope, just decides to get that little Wraith. While Ziploc, being very sneaky on that Zac, gonna be able to take away the red buff from One Bad Brad and gonna get that one and go to his blue, while One Bad Brad clears wolves and is gonna be heading to a camp that is empty.
Yeah, now keep in mind as Captain Ziploc, you're like, hey, I didn't use Smite on that buff. If he had used Smite, that would signal an early level 2 gank top lane. But really nobody level 2 ganks anymore, which might make it kind of more effective if you're not expecting it. But as is gonna use that Smiteless, going straight to his blue, but then realizes the counter on his red. One Bad Brad walking through that ward, knows something's up as we do see Zamfira start to realize that only level 1 does not have Arcane Shift.
Yeah, and Jack Smith just goes in with that body slam, gonna chunk him down to about half HP. Zamfire starting with a Thorn's Blade, though. Not gonna be able to sustain much through that one. iDream gonna poke away at Rux while Rux pokes in response. And there's the stun come out, auto attacks taking him down to half, forcing him to chug away at that Crystallian Flask. We do have an engage going down over here at this red buff. The root connects. There's the death sentence going to connect onto him from pulling him back out of there. Red buff still in a big contestation as Ziploc smites it. There's a flash flay, going to knock nothing here and here. And there is one Bad Brad going to miss the EQ combination as a flash will keep nothing here safe. And the only summoner burnt there will be that one. And red buff is denied from one Bad Brad.
All right, so a nice job preventing that steal. Refresh red buff on Captain Ziploc. But yeah, nice job. The ward coverage there, the contest, the flash flay from actually really sort of setting that up in favor of Curse Academy. So you had to use Smite, had to get that out of there. Meanwhile, it's Ziploc finding out one Bad Brad, looking for the blue steal. This guy is just going on an adventure safari here in the jungle for Cognitive Esports. Makes it back out. And then keep in mind, only one buff, so he's going to be very far behind in experience, just about to hit level 3, whereas Captain Ziploc going to hit level 3 and have that blue buff when he takes it down.
Yep, and just looking at a quick early game CS, we see that Fabi is ahead, 8-11, while nothing here gets the CS underneath the turret, and nothing too different in the mid lane as Jack Smith is going to keep pressuring that one and forcing him underneath the turret, trying to push it out as much as possible. While up top, fairly even as well. Junglers, just fairly even, while it seemed like iDream was helping Captain Ziploc get his blue buff, hit level 3, and junglers are still level 3 for each other, so we get early clears and potentially look for some early aggression around that level 4 point.
Now, iDream actually going to go back, pick up a longsword and some wards and potions, and that was just in response to pushing out Rux a little bit early. So pretty much similar buys across the board, the only difference being the longsword for Renekton, whereas we do see that Thoran's ring for Rux, as well as that Crystalline Flask going to kind of be a reaction to Diana's somewhat high mana cost, which is why you don't see her a whole lot up in that top lane.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, Death Sentence, they're gonna connect, nothing here, just skimming him on the side. Root gonna get connected onto Fabi. There's a piercing arrow with the lantern gonna help absorb a bunch of that damage, pulling him towards his caretaker being Now that they're just farming, he's gonna use his range to keep it safe. We see that Captain Ziploc is down there right now, not gonna maybe like to make a play. And I thought he was heading back. He is gonna head back. Well, just gonna be just pokey and pretty passive early game coming through. There's the Root gonna connect, as well as a bunch of auto attack damage. The Flay doesn't connect from though. The trap gonna stop nothing here in his track. There's the hail of arrows gonna slow down as they are looking to try to get these auto attacks down. Fabi does get exhausted, uses the 90 caliber net to disengage. Valkyrie gonna eat a little bit of poke for his troubles. Flay gets dropped out, not gonna connect, and is forced to back to base.
Yeah, keep in mind, without Flash there, is actually going to stay in lane a little bit longer. Has 2 potions in her inventory, moving those around, looking to use those to stay in lane. So no consumables, almost no items there for that support. But we do have one Bad Brad going in there. Gets seen out there by a little bit of a shrub, placed by Valkyrie in the bush.
Yep, and as he is going to stay down there, and Rux is clearing up the wave up top, one Bad Brad is still camping around towards that bot lane. There are no wards currently for anybody besides who has that one in the second brush of the lane. Planet's gonna get dropped out from Seeds, from Zyra, while iDream and Rux just going to keep on poking and prodding. Death Sentence connects onto Valkyrie, and she's gonna go in. Does the flay, the lantern comes through, pulls one Bad Brad all the way through. That is a lot of distance getting covered there. Piercing arrow, and then dodges away from the Zyra passive and will stay alive with first blood. Gonna go to Fabi.
All right, picking up things for a nice early start there for Curse Academy. Keep in mind, the piercing arrow from nothing here was not fully charged, so would have been able to kill if he had charged that for just a little bit longer, but hey, you don't want to do that in the face of one Bad Brad who's just coming in there and killed off your own support. Early lead there for Curse Academy. They have about a 600 gold lead, and at the 7-minute mark, I mean, sure, that's not all that significant as your ultimate kind of whizzing by as Zamfira clears out the mid lane. We go back to base, and keep in mind, we really won't see this double AD composition start to come into effect until around the 20-minute mark or so, when the ADs finally have the tank line in front of them to go for these team fights, contest these objectives, and kind of take down turrets to maybe move away towards maybe a little bit of a different focus in the game. Blue buff's going to go over to both, I guess, mid laners. I'm not sure if you give that over to Zamfir or if you just take it as Captain Ziploc in the jungle. Probably will go to that Ezreal, making the blue build Ezreal even bluer. And I kind of want to break out in singing, but as cool as Eiffel 65 is, maybe we'll see that a little bit later on as Zamfir gets further along in his build.
I'm blue Dabadia, Ezreal. But yeah, BF Sword was first item picked up for Fabi with some boots. Gonna be able to keep on poking and prodding, while in the other side, Nothing here has that Vampire Acceptor and boots to sustain a little bit, as well as some potions to help him out through that lane and the harass. Having Valkyrie being level 4, and and Fabi being level 5, and pretty hard.
Gank in the mid lane, and let's bounce going down right on top of Jaximus. Counter out there by one bad Brad, and that's going to be the ultimate down for Captain Ziploc. Gonna drop in a trail of bloblets down behind him. We'll pick those up for some extra health, but it's going to be Zach ultimate down. That has a fairly long cooldown, about 100 seconds. So that will be back available and standing on top of Ward, so no pressure on the map right now for Wasabi, now Cognitive Esports.
Yeah. Zamfire just going to keep on farming as much as possible. He does have that blue buff, going to spam everything out. Descendants coming out from not going to connect. And a pretty good gank attempt coming out in that mid lane from what we saw. Nobody dying though. And just a 600 gold lead in favor of Curse Academy right now. As it's been the island effect pretty much up top with Curse Academy, Rux, and Cognitive's iDream. Just nothing too crazy going on up there.
All right, now keep in mind the double AD comp. I mean, it's not really supposed to, do anything too early, other than just pressure objectives super hard and try to take them just by being able to poke things out. Now, if you don't lose the early game, you set yourself up very, very well towards the late game. If you do lose early game, it's really rough because you need to have that tank line in front of them, because that's just what you need to have happen, because you don't have the same strength like you would from a normal mid laner going for that same sort of like burst combo that you see from like a Lissandra, maybe a LeBlanc, although we haven't seen that champion yet in MCS. I'm still holding out because Rux's top lane LeBlanc actually pretty monstrous. I saw him playing that in his Challenger promotion series the other day. So it was a pretty monstrous performance, so I'm still holding out for that one. But bottom lane, yeah, solidly back in favor of Curse Academy. They're going to be pushing things in there. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm Caitlyn, I win lane by default, but already with that first kill on Fabi, going to make things even more difficult. Damage coming down there. The Caitlyn trick to go ahead and pick up the damage will be the ultimate. Nothing here tanks it up. He does have that potion running, 2 more potions in his inventory and a Vampire Acceptor, so he'll be able to heal that back eventually. But Curse Academy could be looking towards an early dragon. The 10-minute mark, Fabi's going to start that auto attack, and Jaximus coming in from mid lane. Wasabi could actually see this coming.
Yeah, and now Cognitive is going to be completely in the dark about that one. The True Shot Rush comes across. It's not enough, as one by Brad held back on that smite and just took it for the team. There's going to be a dragon in favor of Cursed Academy as well. They will be able to secure a 1.2k gold lead and some nice gold for their team across the map. And Rux using that teleport to get back to lane is lacking out in the CS just about by 10. He looks to go in onto iDream though. iDream turning that one around, gets the slice and dice, does get the stun. Gonna get an auto attack onto the minions, trying to build up some of that ferocity as now he goes back in with the auto attacks. The Lunar Pull coming through for Rux on that Diana. And they trade out evenly even after Rux went back to base.
The itemization definitely in Rux's favor now that he has that Seeker's Arm Guard completed. Going to be stacking that up, getting some extra armor and ability power. He goes ahead and CS's the lane. The advantage bottom lane, actually not all that big a deal. I mean, sure, there's a BF sword onto Caitlyn, but really if you're Varus going for Blade of the Ruin King first, you're not really going to be looking to out-trade a BF sword Caitlyn, especially even early on. And with that pressure coming down there, Zach in the bottom lane for Cognitive Esports. Ziploc going to be looking for a sneaky gank. Hasn't been spotted out just yet. With no ward coverage in those side brushes, this actually could be a nice setup for Cognitive.
Oh, no, there's Yuno dropping the ward. Gonna spot him out and almost good. But now we see Ziploc sitting in the second brush. Gonna be patient once again, but actually just gonna go walk back into his own jungle. Piercing arrow comes to clear the wave. Nothing here in Valkyrie. Just gonna shove this one out, having help with the plants. One Red was up top, just choosing to not do anything else with that one. Descendants connects on the Valkyrie, and Ziploc gets spotted out by a trap. They're not going to go back in with that one. And Ziploc is just going to go take his Flubberbutt into the jungle again, or maybe look to go back out as the trap gets dropped. And Ziploc going back into that brush. There are pings onto him. That is his own teammates' pings, though. Charges the slingshot. Going to not go in, though. And just...
Pretty sexy ward there over the wall there by Yuno, actually hitting that in the very center of that brush from over the wall. Definitely have to place that on the right Christmas tree to be able to drop that in there. And Yuno able to get that in there. Scouting out Ziploc. He hasn't had the stealthiest of ganks so far this game. No kills yet picked up for Cognitive, and the shoving just continues. We've seen a pretty passive early game. I mean, sure, that early Dragon did go over to Curse Academy. They do have about a 1,500 gold lead. Bottom lane, a lot of aggression coming out. There's Caitlyn Drake, the damage on to Valkyrin.
Wow, that was a beautiful play coming through from Yuno, activating that one. That sentence gets the flay, and then the Stranglethorn is not enough to stop the snipe coming out from Fabi, and they just completely decimate Valkyrin right there. Take him out of the fight and get Fabi another kill, securing him at 2-0 with about a 30 CS advantage at this point is pretty huge. We have Ziploc sitting around by the wall. Dissonance barely missing, gonna get onto that minion. She goes back in, flay to the side though. Ziploc coming in. There's the ultimate coming in from Varus. It is enough to help pick up the kill onto Yuno, while Ziploc is going in onto Fabi, gonna try to get him down with all of his abilities. Does get the W, but is not enough to chase him down. Nothing here, getting a kill though, with a nice counterplay coming in from Ziploc.
Yeah, I mean, Ziploc, we were talking about his ganks not really getting into position, not being all that stealthy, but coming in from that tri-brush, you just saw the huge initiation range of that elastic slingshot. And, I mean, we've seen a lot of Zac play at LCS, probably most significantly Meteos. Captain Ziploc still undying, so maybe channeling his inner C9 jungler, but top lane for the ultimate.
There's one bad going in with the Cataclysm. Ruck's gonna follow up, does use that dash, does pop the shield though. Not gonna choose to tank up that turret, as that ultimate from Renekton is pretty hard to deal with. Give him a lot of extra HP there, gonna be able to sustain through that one. But the bot turret will fall for the side of Curse Academy. Cognitive Esports gonna get the first turret of the game for themselves, but respectively, Curse Academy has the first dragon of the game in their pockets. We see Zamfira though. He was looking to be sneaky and try to get Rux out there as Rux walked into that ward, but chose to back up on the turret and taking the safer option.
Now, it's kind of interesting to notice that even though early on Fabi had this pushing advantage in the bottom lane, it's not about when you push the turrets, it's about when you die. And killing off that bottom lane, a nice counter gank from Captain Ziploc, setting up that first turret kill of the game, like you mentioned, for Cognitive. Fabi getting a little bit overextended there, needs to have Yuno back in the area. You will see a little bit of a response there. The ward in the tri-brush.
Oh, look at Ziploc.
Let Ziploc get in again.
Oh, the 90 caliber net into the slingshot. They're all flashing after him. That was 3 flashes. Fabi is gonna try to take nothing here with him, but it's not enough, and Fabi not even popping the barrier will get taken down. Yuno trying to help him out there with that lantern, but just a little bit of miscommunication as he did not go for it. Just flashes in the opposite direction and gets taken out. So Captain Ziploc making the plays in that bot lane.
I was thinking to myself, okay, there's no way this gank from Ziploc is going to work, and then you're like, wait a second, he's actually charging his elastic slingshot, and he did that in range of the ward. Yuno put that ward in tri-brush. That's the exact same position that you saw him gank from earlier, but this time around, Captain Ziploc, apparently, I don't know, maybe Captain Invisible Ziploc. I'm not sure if that's like a new brand of bag, but it totally should be.
Captain Ziploc, Zac bags? Ziploc bags? Ziploc
I'd buy them.
Could that be a skin? Could he be a Ziploc bag?
You just take like a Ziploc bag and you like put like lime jello in it. I mean, it's basically the same thing, right? Valkyrie gonna clear out the ward in the tri-burst. The death sentence lands to pull over the wall.
Oh man!
Valkyrie getting womboed so hard to dive in.
Wow, there's Ziploc's going in with the Let's Bounce as well. They do end up taking out Yuno. Snipe coming in. No one can block that one. Fort Evasion as he gets taken out. Rux diving underneath the turret. Going out of nothing here. Auto attack taking him down with that passive. Explosive cast on a Zamfira though. Fabi coming in from the back. The barrel does not connect. The body slam does though. And Fabi getting that crit. Taking him out. Going to tank the turret for his teammate Rux. And there's the Cellular Division passive coming in. One Red Brad walks back into the turret. Gets taken out. Zamfira takes that kill, but the Piltover Peacemaker from Fabi with the help of Rux taking down Ziploc. Double kill for Fabi, but iDream pushed that tier 1 top turret, and now pressuring the tier 2 as Dragon did spawn. Curse Academy gonna make the play for that one.
Yeah, that was a 4 for 2. Big plays. The teleport coming in from Rux, also huge in that engagement. Curse Academy looking to close out on another global objective. Keep in mind, in the meantime, the iDream up in that top lane. Continue to get his push on. You're gonna push him off.
Yeah, and the Dragon is secured for Curse Academy, but iDream put more than half of the turret's HP in damage. Just damage the turret for more than its half his HP. Excuse me, stumbling all over those words. The turret in the bot lane does fall, though, respectively. So 2-to-1 turret advantage for the side of Cognitive. But Curse Academy has the gold advantage.
I mean, gold advantage is something they've had for pretty much the entire game, starting things off the back of that dragon that they picked up very early on around the 10.5-minute mark. So we're going to see that come up again, and as soon as it did, that was taken out again. You know, kind of roaming between the lanes, went top lane to stop the push there from iDream and went back to base. Gonna go for a probably a Sunfire cape after that Ravenous Hydra. One bad Brad. Abby, they're in the bottom bush looking for the ambush.
EQ combination coming through, knocking him nothing here, but there's the Blade of the Rune King in response. The Cataclysm and the last auto attack from Fabi takes him out, and that was sneaky as all hell. They just waited for him to push up in the lane. Okay, that nice play by Curse Academy, and one by Brad and Fabi securing a kill, taking out nothing here, and Valkyrie couldn't really do much to help.
That bottom brush was the gate in that bottom lane, and yeah, Fabi, one bad Brad, not letting anyone through. Nothing here. Did some pretty nice moves. Threw down that Blade of the Rune King, tried to kite inside the Cataclysm, but somewhat ineffective as he did not have Phantom Dancer and could not walk through the minion coating. Did to get taken out there. It's 7-4 kill and gold lead in favor of Curse Academy, and gotta say that bottom lane's starting to show its strength. Fabi, he's kind of, you know, hot and cold. It's like either he'll go 0-4 and the rest of his team will carry him, or he'll be the one carrying things out. And at 6-1, it's still gonna be a good day to be a date keeper.
A date keeper? So he tracks.
A good day to be a date keeper. There we go. I'll get it eventually.
A date keeper. There's the initiation coming in. Slingshot doesn't connect. Let's Bounce does, though. Nothing here. Gets the ultimate off. Zamfire coming in for the kill. Gets the shutdown goal for himself. And Jackson is getting out of there with that body slam. The date keeper couldn't keep track of his own date. Doesn't get taken down. Ziploc charging that slingshot. Does not land on the Jackson. iDream coming in from the back. But it's not enough, and now they're going to look to push down into this mid-tier 1 turret. All 5 members of Cognitive are all there.
What have you done to me? That was an unfortunate turn of phrase, I'll have you know. But Valkyrin has been in some unfortunate positions before. That time around it is Fabi's turn for a somewhat unfortunate position, much unlike his name. Kind of got his own gate kept a little bit there in the mid lane. A little bit overextended, got taken out, and that's the problem here. When you have all your kills on one guy, as soon as he dies, you have no more kills on your team, and then you're also kind of 4v5. So even though it was a little bit of a rough lane for nothing here, the positioning generally better there for Cognitive. It's been going back and forth here. It's only about a 2,000 gold difference, so this game still can go either way. We still haven't seen too many turrets go down, though there is that one turret advantage for Cognitive after having taken down both top and bottom.
Yep, and now they're looking to push onto mid as Valkyrin is over there with the Oracles, clearing out all the wards, and just trying to help out his mid lane with those plants. We saw Ziploc over there looking to maybe they could play, but unfortunately nothing else is coming out of that one. We saw Fabi pushing down that bot lane against nothing here. Just disengages and looks to spend his amounts of gold. Yuno in response, though, does pick up an Oracles, clears out the wards towards the entrance of their blue, and now going to look to clear our dragon as well. Gonna drop a ward for herself, and now just back up as there's a little bit of a lull in the action. It is 5-7, 20 minutes into this game with Curse Academy leading with that about 2.3k gold advantage, but turrets are advantage of Cognitive Esports. Well, you know, getting caught up by a plant.
Yeah, Yuno's still taking a little bit of a trip on the wild side, as she's wont to do, and I think the big deal to watch out for right now is going to be the ward coverage. Anytime there's a lull in the action, it's because they can't do anything, or it's not because they can't, but because there's too much of a risk because of those ward coverages. And you can see right now, ward coverage is plural because that's a plural thing, I guess. Great ward coverage up and down the river, 3 wards placed there by Curse Academy. Really the focus warding top lane for Cognitive Esports is they definitely need to improve that, especially around that Wraith Camp area. You don't want to see an engage coming in through there from one bad Brad, as is walking straight up that middle lane. Rug's pushing bottom lane because he has that teleport available. You're gonna see Fabi still see us up there in the top lane. I mean, Devil Golems are cool and everything. You're gonna need to get off to that mid lane, because even though Jaximus has some wave clear, he's gonna need some assistance.
Yep, Descendant's gonna connect into nothing here, though. They're gonna choose to go in on that one. They force the flash out the roots. The Stranglethorn gets thrown, but the explosive cast coming out from Gragas with a lantern to save one bad Brad in that poor position. But Cognitive Esports just forced out just one ulti while they extended about 2 to almost pick up a kill on one bad Brad, but they're now disengaging from 4 members of Curse Academy while Rux is split pushing in that bot lane, looking to threaten the turret, and he takes it.
It's actually pretty impressive to see his push go on that long. Usually you see somebody split off to push it or the engage, and that's exactly what's going down. Ziploc going in.
Let's Bounce gets activated. There's a Lantern to pull one by Brad. Box gets activated, but there is only Jaximus getting taken out by Zamfire right there, but Yuno picking up the kill in response. Flash coming through. Rux going in the back. Doesn't get the pull, but gets the second dash onto Zach right there, popping the passive. Zyra passive helping the damage a little bit. iDream coming through as Ziploc gets taken out by one bad Brad. Flay from Yuno to disengage a little bit, but gets flash on. Doesn't get the flash through the blue wall, as nothing here is going to get picked off in the back, possibly by Rux. Piercing arrow comes through. Fabi gets stunned through the 90 caliber net. iDream is going to take him out with one more auto attack while Rux is still alive in the back. Picks up the kill. Barrier from Fabi keeping him alive. And Red Buff gonna take him down. iDream gonna try to take down Rux in this one in a 1v1. Ultimate gets activated, comes off cooldown, shield gets popped. Rux picks up the kill, and ace 22 minutes into this game in favor of Curse Academy after a really extended fight.
That was a 5-for-3 Jaximus getting out there back alive, and Rux as well. That nice duel to take out iDream. It's not too often you see a Diana able to out-trade a Renekton. The nice Ravenous Hydra active, actually able to pick up the last hit there on the Fabi, so nice to be able to at least trade that out 1-for-1, and still, even though that was that ace for Cursed Academy, they're ahead in Dragons, the game is dead even. I mean, look at this, you got 3 kills on both the top and mid lane, iDream and Zamfira on Renekton and Ezreal respectively, at 3 kills apiece with 200 CS under the belts. They are running double AD, but they have a lot of threats to watch out for, because you have double Zhonya's Hourglasses and a Guardian Angel. Rux is not going to die anytime soon, and he's still going to have that 402 score, which is not going to be something that any of the AD carries on Cognitive V-Sports are going to be too happy about.
Yeah, we see Yuno going to tank up a little bit of those hits from the Dragon after a nice root coming through from Valkyrie, trying to deny her from taking down that Dragon, that ward, excuse me, but it does get taken out in the end. The Oracles is still going for Yuno, going strong. She's going to keep clearing out those wards while her team is going to protect her a little bit, but Fabi getting caught out in the back though. Slingshot, let's bounce. Blade of the Rune King, nothing here, auto attack. Ziploc picks up the kill. Fabi getting sniped out.
And this is continually difficult. Ooh, one bad Brad going to take a little bit of a slow there. You're going to see Zamfira with that Iceborne Gauntlet. The Icy Mittens completed, as I like to call them. Another Dragon going down, but this time going to X-Wasabi Gaming, now Cognitive Esports. They will trade away that turret. Rux looking to take down his second secondary turret of the game. He's gonna get a little bit of assistance from his friends. Gets by with that, and will take out secondary turret in the top lane.
Yeah, and let's talk about the items. There was a Zhonya's Hourglass picked up for Rux, and then when he went back to base, he picked up a GA. So he's huge right now. He's going to be able to dive in those fights. If he doesn't have dying, his team can collapse onto him, and he'll just come back to life and just charge on whoever he can. Well, also Jaximus having that Zhonya's Hourglass coming through. Slingshot gets connected. Death Sentence connects onto nothing here. Not going to get to take him down. That barrel not connecting either. Zamfire going to poke and prod as much as possible. Has that Iceborne Gauntlet. Stacking up to a Mirror Mana. He does have it at 25 minutes as he does activate it. Going to look to push this turret down. iDream split pushing up top. Has that Ravenous Hydra and Sunfire Cape, so maximum split push potential coming out from him. And yeah, just no really big items for nothing here besides that Blade of the Rune King. Gonna kite as much as possible with that one, get the active to run away. While there is a Infinity's Edge and Phantom Dancer with the buildings of a Last Whisper on Fabi, so he is gonna be hitting for a truckload.
Yeah, the only problem is for Cursed Academy, it feels like, I don't know, there's definitely something stuck in their cogs as, I don't know, Fabi EXE appears to have stopped working. I don't know, it's the Captain Ziploc, the engage is catching out Fabi like 3 or 4 times already so far. You can see that 6 kills are cool and everything, but you actually have to stay alive over the course of the team fight to put those 6 kills to use. But if you do, like you mentioned, that itemization coming out from Fabi can start to hurt an extreme amount. Top turret will go down, their second one in that lane. As you see, Death Sentence goes out. Good guy cannon minion blocks it out. That will be a successful turret taken down. iDream won't be able to back quite as easily as he wants to.
Yeah, and Ziploc getting chased down by Yuno just a little bit as we see Jaximus throwing the barrels through. Ziploc gonna go over the Baron, not gonna even connect with it. While Rux this whole time was split pushing down in the bot lane. He is not scared of anything, will duel one person at a time. The tower is going to fall. Jaximus though goes in, tries to steal away the blue buff. Ziploc will smite it away from him. Jaximus body slams his big Gragas butt out of there, while 4 members of Cursed Academy. Yuno runs into the plant. That might give away that they are doing Baron at this point. Teleport coming in from Rux.
Teleport again. He can actually take that inhibitor, but he's going to go in for the Baron attempt.
Oh,
However,
man.
getting shielded at the beginning of the fight.
A great catch from Yuno, gonna take out Valkyrin right there. Snipe from Fabi, though, is gonna chunk away at nothing here, and Captain Ziploc, this Baron, is most likely gonna go in favor of Curse Academy unless there is some response from the side of Cognitive that True Shot Barrage is not enough. Fabi has the red buff, gonna try to kite away. iDream Flash! Death Sentence connects on the Zamfira as he will be forced to flash to the wall. The Lantern to pull Fabi back in. There's a ward in that brush. They pop the Cellular Division from Zach. Fabi picks up the kill onto Zamfira as Yuno takes the kill onto the Cellular Division from Zach. They will get the Baron. They will get 3 kills out of that one as Valkyrin just spawned. And now they're going to look to pressure an inhibitor in the mid and bot lane as a tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Not long for this world.
Man, I just got the sickest nerd chills. Rux sitting with 200 armor after that Guardian Angel still up. And Zanya's Hourglass still available. Curse Academy just made a huge play. I was kind of questioning Rux teleporting up, not taking that bottom inhibitor. But man, these death sentences from Yuno are so scary. They just seem to always land, and that was really what turned that last fight around at Baron for Curse Academy.
Yeah, and now we do have everybody going in. It looks like Cognitive's going to try to hold this one, but iDream is going to eat a bunch of damage to the face. Rux gets that kill. Death Set is getting blindly thrown out. Yuno not going to connect to anybody. Ziploc slingshotting his way back in there. Gets chunked out by Fabi, but now we do have Curse Academy making their way towards that mid inhibitor turret. And now we will look to see them pressure this one as the wave is going to try to get frankly cleared. Ziploc going in though. Let's Bounce gets activated. Yuno being the target for that one. One by Brad gets knocked up. There's a Cataclysm with 3 members in there. And nothing here with the help of Zamfire will pick up that kill. Fabi taking out nothing here, excuse me. Nothing here gonna get taken out, but Zamfire gonna try to hold this wave with the Mystic Shot and the Iceborne Gauntlet for the Miramana proc as well. Has the Last Whisper. Gonna try to chunk anybody that he can. They just trade 1 for 2 and pressured that turret ever so slightly, and now they're gonna go back to base. Spend how much gold do they have in their inventory? Wow.
All right, well, wow, yeah, that is actually a lot. Yuno actually getting hooked up a little there with the Aegis of the Legion. Null Magic Mantle to come out for a, I don't know, rest in peace, the Runic Bulwark. You won't be seeing that next patch. You'll be seeing a lot of other cool stuff, so it may not actually be all that bad. You don't often see the support actually by the Runic Bulwark, but with the, I don't know, you definitely want a lot of armor. You're going to see a lot of that onto Yuno, almost with 100 AP, 126 armor. That's a pretty tanky support with all the death sentences that she's been passing out this game. I don't know. I'm definitely a supporter. There we go. Of picking up that itemization. Double Zanya's now double death cap.
Whoa.
Onto the team there for Curse Academy. And if you think double AD is cool, double AP, it's looking pretty good for Curse A.
Double cap, double Zonias. Death Sentence gonna connect on the Zamfire. Yuno not gonna go in though. Rux going in, leading the initiative on that one. Stranglethorn to try to zone off people. Flay gonna knock Ziploc back as Rux can't get in. The Snipe coming through, gonna connect with Ziploc. They are still chasing this one, but Zamfire with the Miramata and the Iceborne Gauntlet to kite away from that as Ziploc's gonna be forced to go back to heal. And now Curse Academy gonna lay in onto this inhibitor turret. And let's win away at that one with the minion wave coming through. Fabi just bashing us that one. True Shot Barrage to clear the wave. Death Sentence coming through the wall, just barely nicking at Zamfire's shoes. We do have, Yuno gonna flay and force back from iDream. Well, this inhibitor is being pressured. There is the dominance coming through. Zonya's Hourglass in response. The slingshot doesn't connect though. They're going out to Yuno. Gets taken out by nothing here while Rux is gonna get exhausted. They do try to get onto Fabi, but Captain Ziploc getting taken down. All that crit damage coming in from Fabulous. Headshot procs doing a ton of damage. 2 for 1 right now, as Yuno is the only one to die from Curse Academy. They do get the inhibitor, and are they going to pressure the Nexus? They might look to rotate towards top.
Secondary inhibitor does go down. They're looking for a third. Keep in mind this shirt with that extra armor, but really with the damage Fabi's dishing out, that is not going to be up for very long. iDream coming in there trying to get them off of it. Jackson is just taking things up.
Rux just melted Zamfire there. That is going to be most likely an inhibitor as Fabi just keeps beating it onto that one with the help of one by Brad. And there it goes, and a few more hits with the help of Rux as well. He has that GA, not scared. EQ to get Jarvan out of that one. One by Brad going to run back to base. Ziploc may have just disconnected. We could see a pause potentially. No, actually there was a surrender vote. So Curse Academy taking it over Cognitive Esports. Wow.
not not necessarily at a result that you could have predicted ahead of time. Both of these teams actually very far ahead in the standings. We talked about their ratings actually going into this. Cognitive sitting at 4-2, Curse Academy at 4-2 as well. Now Curse Academy with the winning record over Cognitive Esports as they rise to 5-2 to tie them up for third place in the standings, along with Denial and New World Eclipse. So a great, the plays, I gotta say, Rux has had some dominant performances here in MCS. That's really the carries for Curse Academy do tend to come from that top lane, and with a dominant performance there on